Welcome to The Actor's Choice, where the actors and actresses have a chance to talk about themselves and their careers. Join us now for the next hour as we explore the marvelous industry of acting by actors and actresses from today's exciting show business world. And now, direct from Hollywood, here's your host, Ron Brewington.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ron Brewington, and welcome to The Actor's Choice. Before we begin, ladies and gentlemen, today is Veterans Day. The day we remember those Americans who gave their lives for the security and protection of American military personnel around the globe. Let's take a moment to remember those men and women who served us. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Roll it, Tony.
Careful. He's one of the Kremlin's top spies.
Huh. This soldier just got a little more interesting.
Brought you some tea.
This could be called many things.
I'm more interested in your work.
I am not clever.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here today to talk about a new play by playwright Jason Downs. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Jason Downs. Looking good, friend, looking good. Welcome to The Actor's Choice. First question, where were you born at, sir?
I was born in Columbia, Maryland, back east. Are you familiar with the town? It was.
Yes. I did a lot of time places over there in Annapolis, the Naval Academy. Like I said, I was in the Navy for a number of years, spent 4 years at Annapolis. And when I see Columbia, look how it has grown.
It certainly has. It certainly has. I still have family there and visit from time to time. And so I have truly seen it from, the 1970s until now.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible.
Yes. I have a son that lives in Salisbury. I have an ex-wife that lives in Salisbury. I have a whole bunch of friends, grandchildren and whatnot in Salisbury.
Okay.
Having to drive all the way from the naval base all the way back. It was interesting. It was interesting.
Also beautiful. Yeah. It was a wonderful place to grow up, to be honest.
Yes,
truly had sort of a bit of everything. There were a lot more farms when I, was a child. Obviously, as you mentioned, all those farms have been sold and and developed. But just a wonderfully diverse and beautiful place to grow up. You had access to Washington, D.C., Baltimore, New York City. Was within reach. So anyway, I thought a wonderful place to grow up.
Now, what made you get into acting?
I just couldn't help myself. I fell in love at an early age, actually, in that small town, Ellicott City, where I grew up. They had a children's theater there, and I begged my parents to let me join up, and they were like, okay. They were country folk. They were from Arkansas and Oklahoma and whatnot, and had moved east for teaching jobs. My father was a teacher, a math teacher, and Montgomery County was the highest paying district in the nation at that time. And so he and his brother went and taught there for their entire careers for 30, 40 years. Anyhow, I begged them to let me join this children's theater, and they were like, okay. And I went, and I just fell in love. One of the second or third show that I did was called Bye Bye Birdie, the musical, about an Elvis Presley type character, and I got to play that Elvis Presley type character. I was 9 years old, and it turned my life upside down. I was never the same after that. It just filled me with so much joy, and at that young age, it was reactionary, right? It was more in response to the audience and what I was getting from them and the attention, obviously, I suppose. So I had no craft. I wasn't very good at all. I wasn't one of those children that was sort of innately brilliant or anything at all. I had to work for many years to get anywhere near decent.
But you did go to school, get an education. You went to New York University, Tisch School of Arts. You know, that was
Yes,
nice.
sir. Yes, sir.
As they say in the business, not bad, not bad.
Not-
Got that.
it was wonderful. It was wonderful. I didn't want to leave. I enjoyed it so much being in that environment and even the theater history, just the amount of knowledge that you get in a high quality institution like that was just so wonderful, and I couldn't get enough of it. I miss it still.
That says a lot for you because you did a great job and you made a chance to do some plays in New York.
Oh yeah, no, I never stopped doing plays. I ever since I was 8 or 9, like I said, I've had a play going in one form or fashion. It's always been my true love, I think, because of that. It of course, we're all attracted to film and TV, and I've always loved film and TV. I think I just, starting out, I was more performative. I didn't understand what acting was. I understood connecting with an audience and making them smile and feeding off their energy and giving energy. I understood those sorts of things, but I did not understand the craft of acting until I went to New York and went to Tisch. I was part of the Atlantic Theater Company's acting school there, of David Mamet and William H. Macy and Felicity Huffman and all these wonderful people that came out of that school, and I was lucky enough to have as teachers and whatnot. That really began the journey of seriously understanding what it was all about and how challenging a skill it is to acquire and how how many years you can spend
Yes.
Perfecting something like that. Perfecting
Yes.
is the wrong word, but learning how to act is something I'm still doing, and I love that about it. I love that about it. Anyway, I'm talking so much. I apologize. Go ahead.
That's okay. We have no problem with that. I will say this, that you did have, and eventually you did make your way to Los Angeles, to Hollywood, and a little place over there called Hairspray is where you worked at. It was your first one.
Well, that was the first film that I did, and
Yes.
yeah, and that was actually in Baltimore. I mean, that was shot in Baltimore. John Waters is still a huge Baltimore man
Yes.
and artist and notorious, and such a delight to be in that film. My goodness, it brings me joy even today because it really did find its way into culture and has stood the test of time. And they made a musical out of it since then, and so it has had a life and then a life, and we just celebrated the 35th anniversary of that film. They did a screening at the Academy for the 30th, and it was so much fun to go and see John again and Ricky Lake, and it was anyway. That has been such a source of joy, that first film.
Okay. An Odd Morning.
An Odd Morning.
New play, huh?
Jump to the present. Yeah, so like I said, the theater is in my blood and in my heart, and so I'm always writing something or in something. And I had done a wonderful, wonderful production of The Homecoming by Harold Pinter at the Pacific Resident Theater, of which I'm now a member. A wonderful, wonderful group of professional actors over there. And when I moved from New York to Los Angeles, we all have this, I mean, it's an incorrect stereotype of LA that it doesn't have real trained actors. It doesn't have a theater scene. Well, I was so delightfully wrong about that. And so lucky to have found the Pacific Resident Theater soon after I moved here, and found my people, found my home. As soon as I walked into that theater to audition for the homecoming, I felt at home. I felt like, it felt like, the theaters that I had worked in back east, and it had that energy. And the people there certainly did. The artistic director I've just grown to love. Her name is Marilyn Fox. Just someone who loves the theater so much, has such an encyclopedic knowledge. These are the kind of people that I've met there. One of the best theater directors I've ever worked with, Guillermo Cienfuegos, who directed The Homecoming. Anyhow, that show was such a wonderful experience. And one of the actors that I worked with, Anthony Fox, has become a dear, dear friend of mine. And we have worked together on another Pinter piece called The Dumbwaiter. And during that time, he was like, why don't you write something for us? And I said, okay, and so I started to think about it. And that's how An Odd Morning was born. Okay. I was thinking about him as an actor and what would make him shine. And I was thinking of myself as an actor and what would scare me to death to play, and so I started writing something based on that, based on that. Him as my father, and me, as his son, and what kind of dynamic would create just a really interesting place for us to work as actors together. That's honestly how it began. And then the story grew out of that, and it was such a wonderful experience to I would write a scene or two and I would send it to him and we would read it together, and then he would have ideas, and it grew from there and grew into this just bizarre and interesting and wonderful kind of piece about death and about coming of age and about family. And it's just been such a challenging.
I'm saying the play that you are now doing right now, this is your first time doing, I understand, the first time you're doing a full length film.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. That looks good.
Yeah,
tell us about the location and where you're doing this new play at, please.
Say that one more time.
Can you tell us the location of the play?
It takes place in Surrey, actually, in England.
I mean the one that's in America. Odd Morning.
Oh, you mean you don't mean the setting of the play? You mean where is it taking place? Yes. We're doing our first staged reading at Theater 40 in Beverly Hills. Yes. So that came about. They're producing this because I submitted the play to the Beverly Hills Theater Guild's annual Julie Harris Playwriting Award contest. And I got first place, which I was so just, again, delightfully shocked by. And now they're letting us do this staged reading in hopes of finding a way to produce it and put it up. So I'm thrilled to see this thing start to come to life, and couldn't be happier with the cast, and I'm so excited. So that's happening on Saturday at 2 p.m. Theater 40 in Beverly Hills.
In Beverly Hills. What excites you the most about this play?
That it scares me. It like I said, I created the role that I'm playing to challenge myself and stretch myself and do something I'd never done before. So that also is what excites me about theater and about acting in general.
Yes.
I do tend to seek out, and you'll hear many actors say this, that they seek out things that they haven't done or haven't tried or are a little bit scared of. And that's what I'm most excited about here too. I still am. I'm a little bit shaken in my boots, for Saturday. Not for anyone else. I'm for my own part. It's scary. The role itself scares me. So that's what I'm most excited about.
Final question for you. Can you tell us exactly, you told us where it's going to be located at. How much money is it going to be for taxes and whatnot?
Oh, it's just a donation of $10 to the theater itself, and that, so yeah, it like I said, it's a staged reading. We're going to be in costume. We're going to be, but it is a reading, and so it is to benefit the theater in hopes of finding a producer.
Jason, I most sincerely thank you for sharing information about your upcoming play. It's going to be, you're going to make a good turnout. And as I always say, the best of your publicist, good friend of yours, Philip Sokolov. Love that
Yes.
guy.
Yes,
And don't
thank you
forget
so
one
much.
more thing, sir. There's one thing very important what you guys do in this business. Break a leg is what they call it.
Thank you, Ron. Really a pleasure to be here, and thank you for your service, and thank you for doing this. And I will hopefully see you Saturday, and
My
everyone.
pleasure. Get a
All right.
copy of it to you and you get an IMDb treasure. So you get something out of it.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You have a
Ladies and gentlemen, Jason Downs. This is the Actor's Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. Roll it totally.
In the skin you're in? Do you feel that you are the person you are meant to be, inside and out? Was there a mistake made along the way? I have a feminine voice which I acquire from watching way too many Disney movies as a child, and well, perhaps from God. Who will ever love me this way? I feel...
Ladies and gentlemen, well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. The next guest today on Veterans Day is a renowned costume designer and an actor. He was here with us in January, and now he's very excited. He's back, and he's honored to be performing. Here we go, Agatha Christie's The Murder of Roger. Let me say it right. Ackroyd. I'll say it right. Let me do it again. The Murder of Roger Ackroyd. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Michael Mullen.
Hi, how are you? Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Loud and clear. Good to see you again back here with us at the Actor's Choice. As always, I always ask where you were born. That gives people a chance to see the different parts of the world. So where were you born at, sir?
Where was I born? Hello, nice to be here. I was born in San Antonio, Texas,
Yes.
in 1980 at Methodist Hospital.
What was it like growing up in that town?
Growing up in Texas, it was okay. I was an only child, and I was very fortunate to have two very good, loving, supportive parents, Patrick and Celeste Mullen. And I had great grandparents and aunts and cousins and some nice friends. And my parents supported me doing, theater and sports and, stuff like that. So yeah, I was lucky to have a lovely supportive family unit. And I was excited to leave though when I turned 18. I was like, thank you, love you everyone, I'm off to study theater and leave Texas. But yeah, I had a good childhood. Yeah.
Because today is Veterans Day, and your last name is Mullen.
Yes.
Tony, can you show us number 31, please? That's Admiral he was the chief of staff. He was the big man. His name is Michael Mullen. That's his name.
Yes. As far as I know, no relation, but
okay.
Kudos to him, and thank you to him for his service. And yes, happy Veterans Day, and thank you to all the amazing veterans out there who have served our country and and done a really selfless, wonderful, brave thing. So thank you, veterans.
When did the acting bug bite you?
Honestly, I think in elementary school, I started doing community theater. I think my first gig, I made a fool of myself, was I played a munchkin in a local community theater production of The Wizard of Oz, and I was the fireman in Munchkinland. And I overacted and I mugged so big. They kept telling me, you need to tone it down, you're stealing focus away from the main characters. And I was like, sorry. I took lipstick and eye pencil and stuff and put it all over my cheeks to make it look like my face was on fire. And I had a little stuffed animal Dalmatian dog named Fritz and a yellow raincoat with a red fireman hat. And I was just really like, ooh, like really big and over the top. I thought more was more. And everyone was like, no, tone it down. You're doing too much. You're stealing focus. So that was my first, I think, acting gig. But I loved it. I was bitten by the bug. And then as I did more shows, I learned to tone it down and be better. But yeah, I've been doing it since elementary. School.
I'm sorry, you get into a lot of plays. I see there was one time that you did Strangers on a Train back in January of 2024.
Yeah. Strangers on a Train was a really awesome production that I did, earlier this past year. And I played Charles Bruno, who was this alcoholic playboy murderer. And it was such a um, challenging, fulfilling, interesting role, like one of the best roles I've ever had. And yeah, there's this really great production, and I had a blast doing it. And actually, the director Jules Aaron of that production, Strangers on a Train, is actually produced or directing the current show I'm in, The Murder of Roger Ackroyd. So I'm very grateful to him for casting me again in such a great role. In Roger Ackroyd, I play Hercule Poirot, who is a famous Belgian detective, literary character that Agatha Christie created. And I'm having a really fun time. It's a challenge. I have to do a French accent, which, you know, I'm still working on, but hopefully I have it down for for tomorrow when we start previews in front of an audience. Yeah, it's I'm very grateful to him for this second opportunity to do a really great role, a really great leading role. Yeah.
You did another one in Jane August in 89 minutes.
Yes.
Jane?
Jane Austen in 89 minutes. Yeah. It was a really fun production back in, well, a couple of months ago or a month or two ago. Yeah, it was called Jane Austen 89 minutes, and it was written by a really lovely, talented writer named Siri James, and she actually directed the production. And the concept of the show was Jane Austen was the narrator of the show. And there was an ensemble of 6 actors, gentlemen 1, 2, and 3, lady 1, 2, and 3, and the 6 of us acted out all 6 of Jane Austen's books. So we did Pride and Prejudice, Sense and Sensibility, Emma, Northanger Abbey, Mansfield Park, and Persuasion. And we each played a bunch of characters. So I played all these different characters. So a lot of costume changes and hat changes, and it was really, really fun. And we had a great run, and we've actually been invited to do the show again in the new year. So at Greystone Mansion. So it'll be a fun show. Come see it, people. It's coming back in 2025.
Yeah. You are here to do a play, Agatha Christie's The Murder of Roger Ackroyd.
Mm-hmm.
What is your role? So I should say roles, because this gentleman has 2 roles.
So yes, The Murder of Roger Ackroyd, it's a murder mystery drama by Agatha Christie. It's one of her greatest books, stories, and this is a new play adaptation. It's the West Coast premiere, I believe, of this show. And I play Hercule Poirot, who is a well-known Belgian detective that she created. And I come in, there's been a murder. Ooh, spoiler alert. There's been a murder, and I come in and I solve the crime, because that's what Hercule Poirot does. He solves the crime. And it's such a iconic role, I'm so honored to have this opportunity. I wear his iconic mustache, and the glasses and the bowler hat and his suits. And I'm also the costume designer. So for the production, I'm a costume designer as well as an actor. So it's really fun to costume the show, because it takes place in the 1920s in England, and I love the 1920s. It's such a great decade for fashion. So there's 12 actors. So I've gotten to costume everyone in their 20s attire, and including myself, and it's really fun, really fulfilling, and really fun to costume and to act in the show.
Which one do you like the best, actor or costume designer?
I love both. Love doing both. I think I enjoy acting a little more. It's so fun to become another character and to get up on stage and interact with other actors and act. It's just, you're telling the story on stage live night after night. I think it's really fulfilling and really challenging and exciting. Anything can happen, in live theater. I think it's really fun and exciting. I love costuming, don't get me wrong, and I'll continue to do it for years to come if people will let me. But I enjoy both, but I think acting I enjoy a little more right now. Yeah.
I did a little thing here, and we call it Acmora. That's Agatha Christie's The Murder of Roger Ackroyd. Ackroyd.
Ackroyd, yeah.
ACT, Act Mora. Act Mora. Combine all words together. We were talking about that one the other day. Yeah. When I was talking to our good friend, who we love so dearly, Sokolnikov, we were talking about that. Oh yeah, that's Act Mora. Yes. Just thought I'd throw it out there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Tell us this. When is the run? You're going to start November 14th and run all the way to December 15th?
Yes, correct. So we actually this Tuesday, this Tuesday and Wednesday, which I believe are the 12th and 13th of November, we have previews for the public. They're previews, so people can come see the show. I think tickets are $5 for the previews Tuesday and Wednesday. And then November 14th, Thursday, is our official opening night. We open November 14th and we run for 5 weeks through December 15th. And we have a show every Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night at 7:30 p.m. and every Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m. And the weekend of Thanksgiving, we are off. We don't have a show Thursday and Friday of Thanksgiving weekend, but we're making those shows up in December on Monday nights at 7:30 p.m. So, yeah. But there's a website, Theater 40 has a website with link to tickets and all the dates of the shows and all the information about the show and all the stuff people would need to know to purchase and tickets and to come see the show.
Okay. Yeah. And where will you be hanging out at, as we call it, Theater 40?
Yeah, the show is at Theater 40. Theater 40 is a great professional theater company. They've been around for many decades, and I've been very lucky and fortunate to be involved with them for the last few years and gotten to act in a handful of plays there and costume a bunch of plays. And yeah, I'm excited to, be doing this Roger Ackroyd. Yeah.
You mentioned excitement. What excites you the most about this play?
What excites me the most about this play is it's a murder mystery, and once the murder happens, I don't think I'm giving anything big away by saying a guy named Roger Ackroyd is murdered. I mean, the title of the play is The Murder of Roger Ackroyd. So once he's murdered, I come in and I am this detective, and it's life and death stakes to investigate and solve the crime. And so once I go on stage, it's like a train, and once it takes off, it just keeps running till the very end. So it's exciting to be on stage and collect all the details and facts and information and to solve the crime and make discoveries. And then it all ends with I know who it is, and I confront the murder, and it's exciting. So I just love going on the journey of investigating and solving the crime. And hopefully it'll be exciting for the audience, because they'll be watching the play, and there's 12 characters, and they're all really interesting, wonderful characters. And hopefully, as the audience member, you're watching the play and you're like, "Ooh, I think it's him." No, no, maybe it's her. Ooh, she had a great motive. I mean, all the characters have motives, right, to commit the murder, and you learn that by watching the play. So hopefully, as the audience, you think at different points, different people are the murderers, and then in the end, when you find out who really killed Roger Ackroyd, hopefully you're surprised, or you think whatever you think. But I think it's a really cool fun journey for the audience watching this play.
Gotcha. You got a good attitude, friend. You got a real good attitude.
Oh, you're sweet. Thank you. So do you.
Agatha Christie's, we'll see you back again. We'd like to have you come back again.
Oh, I would love that.
You do so well, the way they present it. Yes, and please say thanks to your publicist, my dear friend, Philip Sokoloff. I like that guy. Nice fellow.
Well, he's a great.
You do know he's also an actor. You do know that.
Yes, he's wonderful.
Yes,
he's a multi-talented guy. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have a good day, and as we say for you actors, break a leg.
Thank you. It's been an honor being with you today. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Mullen. This is the Actor's Choice. I'm Ron Brewington. Go right ahead now.
Thank you.
Okay. Just want to let folks know that the next guest today is a lifelong illustrator. He's also a storyboard artist with years of professional experience in film, commercials, animation, and pitch visualizations. Now, over the years, the guest has worked for agencies, production houses, and studios for clients such as Lego, AMC, Facebook, and others, just to name a few. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ajamu Frasier.
Hey, good morning. How are you doing?
Did I say the name?
Ajamu. Yeah, Ajamu.
Okay. Nice name. When I saw it, I said, your mother and dad gave you a good name.
Thank you. Yeah, mom and dad, they were into that, all that back in the 70s, so they were like, they wanted something with meaning, so they was like, they did a little research,
Yes. Before we get started, please tell us, where were you born?
I was born in East Orange, Jersey, but I grew up predominantly in Ohio, near Cleveland, a town, little tri-area, Oberlin, Lorraine. Anybody that's familiar with that Midwest area?
Is there something, I hear a crackling sound?
Oh, it might just be where I'm holding my iPad. It's sitting on a stand, yeah.
Okay. All right. How and when did you get interested, sir, in this business?
Well, I've always, hold on. There we go. Can you see me? Okay, there we go. I've always been interested in this business, but it's always also, oh, hold on. Can you, okay, there was something popping up on the screen there. I've always been into the business of entertainment, but it wasn't until, say, COVID that, and I did a lot of freelance work and what have you, but then it wasn't until the COVID year, whatnot, that it really started, making some strides with some regularity, I guess you could say.
Yes. Okay. You're in what's the market like? Now, you've been in this business for a number of years.
Yeah.
When you got in, you work hard. We got an opportunity to show a few of some of the work that he's put out. Tony, can you give me number 44? 4B? There you go. 45. Hey, there you go. We just want to show people some of the work that this gentleman has done. Looking good.
Okay. Well, thank you. I can't see what you got up there, but okay.
Okay. There's a young lady holding a sword.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Well, the market now is, everything is kind of interesting, I guess you could say, especially since the election. But even before that, we just came out of the writer's strike, and everything is kind of, it's a domino effect, But one thing that the industry is really big in, is your network, or your network people and the people that you know. So, people talk, and you try to move around and get into different places or whatnot like that. So I would say it might not be as busy as it was before the writer's strike, but it seems to be starting to pick up a little bit.
Yes. What do you want people to remember about you?
Well, that I think that I love to create. I love to tell stories.
Okay.
First and foremost. It just so happens my medium is through illustrating and works of that nature. So, although I storyboard for films and I work with directors and I problem solve a lot of other people's movies and story issues or what have you, I write my own stories and have my own books and whatnot, and collaborated in other ways with people as well. Got a couple writers that I'm working with now for their children books that they're working with. So I guess my whole point is, you got to be quite flexible. You can't be so monolithic as the way you kind of see something like I just, hey, if you just want to be a story artist, that's fine. I think that's great. If you just want to be a director, I think that's great. But I think if you want to be a storyteller, you have a bit more of a broader way to go at it,
You have some work in it's called Piece by Piece.
Yes, that's
movie.
Correct. Yes.
That is fun. Tell us about it. That's great. All across the country.
Well, yeah, no, it was a great team of people to work with over at Tremolo. Basically, it's a Lego movie about a Lego documentary about Pharrell Williams, and it's definitely unique. It's the first time they've ever done anything like that, and it's just incredible. I mean, if you haven't seen it, everybody needs to go out and check it out. It's still in theaters before it hits the streaming circuit, but it's really great. It's a great film. Good, it's a family movie. I mean, so if you like pop, hip hop, it's right up your alley. It's pretty much, it's almost kind of like a musical documentary.
Here's a question that I always ask because everybody in this business, it affects every one of everybody. And that is the thoughts about artificial intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
AI.
Well, it's changing at a rapid rate. So it's kind of hard to say, what we say about it today is going to be a little bit different maybe a couple of weeks from now. Mm-hmm. But at the moment, the biggest piece is, at the end of the day, people are going to continue to create. There's still people that love to paint, and there's a lot of digital items that we have now, computers that we use, but people still love to paint. People still love to use ink and whatnot like that. So my thing is, hey, if you love to create, keep creating. And the truth is, people are going to find each other to work with each other. These are just, AI right now is just a tool to be used, so you still got to come up with the story, still got to problem solve and think about, what's going on. If you stay in a vacuum and just hang out with a computer, I don't quite know how far you're going to go with that. So, you got to get out and meet people.
Right. Because after all the work you did and you went in the theater and looked up and there was piece by piece, how did you feel?
Oh, it's a great feeling to see that, it's a great feeling, even when, I see my work on TV, it's a great work. It's a great feeling, every time it happens, so. It's definitely great to be behind that particular body of work because it's such a great film, and there's a lot of rumbles of some of hopefully some big awards down the way. I don't want to say too much or jinx it, but it seems like it's some rumblings of some nice possible awards down the way.
You plan on ever starting your own show business or your own business?
Well, my wife and I, we have our own production company. It's called Phase 6, and we do some work out there, and we have a couple of intellectual properties that we're working on now that we so like I said, there's more than one way to skin a cat. So you work on other people's stuff while you also create your own stuff and get it out there as well.
One thing that got me is what do you tell others who want to get into this business?
I think, like anything else, if you have a plan, I think you should pursue it. If you have, like anything else, is a skill set that you do have to develop, and you have to do your homework, do your research, and get good at what you do. Because then the biggest thing to me is also build your network with people that because even as there's a lot of good people that aren't that probably are not working as much as they should be, just simply because they perhaps don't have a nice network behind them. But build your network, do your homework, and get out there and do it. Don't talk about what you're going to do. Actually sit down and go ahead and do it. There's a lot of tools that can get you to help. You can allow you to do whatever you want to at this point.
Yes. When you came on the air just moments ago, you were wearing a label was on that. I think it's ATM or BTN, the company that you're with.
Yes.
You tell us a little bit about that company because the guy, everybody knows him, Joe.
Jerome.
Oh yeah. Row.
Oh yeah, no, he's a fine brother right there, man. He's a cool cat, man. I met him through a mutual buddy of ours, but I met him. My wife's had a short film that was featured. And I worked on that, and he saw some of my work with that, and so we connected. He saw my portfolio, saw my work, and he was like, "Hey, let's link up, see what we can do. See what type of stuff we can do."
Okay, because he's got a good business there. He's an actor himself. I'm just saying this because a lot of people might not know this, but he's an actor himself.
Oh yeah,
business.
Mm-hmm. No,
for a manager, he's a good man. Knows a lot of people. Brings a lot of people in. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's a great guy.
Mm-hmm. Family, friends, about your success.
What about it? What I?
How are they feeling about the family that you just?
Oh, it's one of those. They're happy. They're happy because I'm happy, and everybody is. You stay busy. Everybody, likes to see you doing what you want to do. You're doing what you love.
Yeah, do what you love. What keeps you busy professionally? What does that?
What keeps me busy?
Yeah, what keeps you busy as a professional? Take some time.
You mean like what do you mean? What keeps
Okay,
me?
say for example, you want to do some work in film.
Uh-huh.
And you might want to do some of these storyboards and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
How do you, as you get work up there, how do you walk up to it? How do you get ready for it?
I see what you mean. So for example, with this, with piece by piece, for example, it depends. Each project is going to be different. So sometimes I'll just, when I get kind of the brief or kind of the portfolio of what, whatever the project might be, I take at least, it depends on how much time I have before I need to really get started. I'll tend to, like if I have a day, then I'll take that day to just, like when I did piece by piece, at that point I had never, illustrated Legos. So, I knew that, they really wanted these things to be able to emote and show a lot of different emotions. So I just went through and just drew different Legos, a number of different ways just to get comfortable with it. Because when you're storyboarding, it's a volume thing. So it's not like one shot, one picture that you're doing. You're doing a volume and you're trying to piece together the story. And whatever the director might have in their head at that time, kind of want to bring it about visually. So, whatever I can do as far as, whatever references for how I want to composite or compose a scene, I try to get as many different type of references and just kind of get into what the project is about. I've done commercials for like pharmaceutical stuff. So I'll get into, I'll look and see what type of commercials have they done before or anything like that. So again, I got to do my homework and just kind of, sorry, my screen keeps jumping off there. But I try to do my homework.
Yes.
And do a little research, see what's going on. So in that case, like I said, I drew Legos. When we're trying to express emotions, we use our hands a lot. So Legos have this little hand with no fingers. So I had to figure out like, okay, what are different ways creatively that we can do so that this doesn't get this thing with no fingers doesn't get stale. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, getting a lot of references, doing my homework, doing a little background check, seeing what Lego movies look like before, what are some other projects they've done, so stuff like that. So a lot of homework, a lot of research.
Ajamu, thank you so much for being here today. We thank you for what we've learned and could get into in this business. Okay.
Yes.
Please thank your publicist Jerome Brooks for having you here today.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for having me.
My pleasure, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, Ajamu Frasier. Actor's Choice. I'm Ron Brewington. And bringing that next lady is she here now? I know she's here now. Okay. Is the next lady here now? I think I see her coming in. There she is. Hi. And ladies and gentlemen, that pretty lady you see right there is Wanda Ray Willis.
Hi, everyone.
Happy How you doing, lady?
Day,
how you doing? Okay.
Yes. Happy Veterans Day, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Love you, veterans.
Thank you. Now, she's here today to talk about the subject of veterans. As you know, today is Veterans Day. She's a veteran singer, actor, and writer. Her name is Wanda Ray Willis.
Hi.
Much to talk about. First of all, tell us about the name of the play that you put together and the play synopsis. You got to play.
Yes. Yep. The play is called A Beauty Queen's Wish. And I'm the writer, director, and producer, along with Emmy Award winner Tom Anderson. He's the associate producer. And it is about two World War II veterans, two brothers, servicemen. The older one superseding the younger in every aspect of his life, which creates an envy and a hatred, which evolves into hurtful acts that may be revealed on his deathbed. And this play, the older brother is a commander, which is quite unheard of for a commander to be an African American or Black commander in World War II. We all know that. So it's kind of historic. and it's starring, who is the commander, is Idris Degas. And he always tells me, Wanda, you don't say my name right. Idres Degas. That's his name. He's a phenomenal actor. He was the Hopper's Actor of the Year last year, year 23, and he's won many other awards. It also stars Philip Bell, who is his younger brother, phenomenal actor that I've worked with before. He is also an award winner, and Tasha Pierce plays the part of Dee. So those are the main characters, but it also has a wonderful supporting cast of actors with numerous things to mention in their background and careers. Robert Amico, Chris Spinelli, Lauren Simpson, Dennis Larios, Laurie Raines, who is a film producer herself, Julia Taylor, Jamie Aronson, Alex Ridio, and Eric Floyd, who is an unsurmountable actor, producer, philanthropist. Him and his wife are the major power team of this nation. He is our voiceover, and he's an extraordinary, and he's just wonderful. So those are the list of the cast and the crew. Tom Anderson is the associate producer. I'm the producer, writer, and director. And they are a phenomenal cast. I cannot wait for you all to get there and see it. We are also honoring World War II veterans during the event. They're going to be positioned in the lobby, 10 framed pictures, 8x10s. And then after our performance, each artist will be holding one of our dear veterans, World War II veterans, and our voiceover. They'll read about their tour of duty and their exciting and very sometimes sad lives and their tours of duty. Some of them have brought tears to my eyes from the submissions. And we have 9. We need one more World War II veteran. Also, we're asking people to bring canned food goods in support of our veterans. I'm associated with Village for Vets. And every performance I do, all of my shows, I'm asking everyone for the rest of my life to please bring canned goods, and I will make sure to deliver them. One quick note, one of the servicemen, World War II veteran story really brought tears to my eyes. He died in his house from hypothermia because he had no water and no heat. No veteran should die like that. So right. I suggest a buddy system. I suggest a buddy system put in place for all of our veterans. I don't care how many there are out there. This needs to be done. And also, the money is there to do it. We've used money for other things. We need to put money into that because that way, that serviceman would not have died like that. It brought tears to my eyes. And I know they're still dying like that. And from other things whereby if there was a body system in place, somebody would have been contacting that serviceman who risked everything for us and who gets so little in return. So I really hope something comes from this. And I'm so looking forward to you all being there. Yes. It's a 50-seat theater. So seats are limited, so you need to get your tickets on eventbrite.com or at the door entry. You can use my Cash App to get your tickets, or cash. We want to fill those seats to get the word out, and we really are thrilled to be honoring our World War II vets.
Okay. There's a lady who, before we get out of here, we want to take a pic. We took a picture of her. She's a good friend of yours. You know her very well. Her name is Diane Watson. There you go.
Yes. Yes. Diane, we love you. And Diane Watson will be there. Yes, she will be there. I was at her birthday and the screening of her film that was done by Melina Gay this past Saturday. Wonderful, wonderful film. It's called A Golden Heart, and it's fabulous. I mean, it tells all about the wonderful, legendary Diane Watson. I call her legendary because she has put a path forward for people to follow. She's an icon. You can talk to her, and even though she says, Wanda, I'm retired. I am retired, but she is on that phone still helping people in her community. So I really admire her. She's close to my heart.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I want to thank you for all the work and time that you put together for veterans. Like you say, name and dates and time. Break a leg. You always look. There's one. Some good pictures about this is what you work with. All the things that you do.
Yes.
Thank you very,
And
very.
we'll see you all November 15th and 16th.
All right.
The Broadwater Black Box Theater. 6322. I love the number 22. That's my favorite. Santa Monica Boulevard in Hollywood. Showtime is at 7. Pre-show events start at 5:30, and they have a lounge there, which is a lounge, and you get the red carpet, socializing, and all of that good stuff. And then afterwards, we go back to the lounge where the wonderful stellar actors that are in the play will meet you and greet you for more pictures. So it's going to be a fantastic night for everyone. And remember to bring your canned food goods, please.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Wanda Ray Willis. There, sir. Thank you, lady. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, and happy Veterans Day.
Thank
Support
you.
our veterans.
Yes,
Thank you.
Much thanks to our guest today, actor, playwright, producer Jason Downs, actor, costumes designer Michael Mullen, illustrator, storyboard person Ajamu Frasier, and singer, actor, writer Wanda Ray Willis. The Actor's Choice is a presentation of B&B Productions. Rudolph Brewington is president. Special thanks to our ever-growing audience, Ron Brewington. See you next time.